A few years ago, an article was published in a newspaper. This article was written by an elderly man. The man probably was in his 80s. The elderly man wrote about how he and his wife sacrificed all the comforts and luxuries of life to raise their only son, to educate him, to make him successful in life. And today the son is educated. He is an IAS officer. He is highly well established and successful in his profession. He is happily married, living with his children, but he is not taking care of his parents. The old man asked himself, what went wrong? What did I do wrong? What we as parents could have done differently? Our only son doesn't take care of us. A very, very painful story indeed. A few days later, another article was published in the same newspaper. This time it was written by a young man. And the young man writes in his article, "My dear readers, a few days ago, you might have read an article written by an elderly man about his son. I am that son of that elderly man. Everything that my father said in his article is true. My parents have made supreme sacrifices to educate me, to raise me, to make me successful in life. And today I don't take care of them. And I don't know why. Why I don't take care of them. When I analyze the whole thing, I recall a few incidents in my childhood which could probably give us some clues. My parents were from middle class family. We all were from middle class family. And we used to live in a joint family. My father, my mother, my father's brothers, their children, all of us were living together. It was a huge family, and there were so many children in the family. I was not the only one. I remember my father, who was working as a clerk in the government department, used to come back home late in the evening. Sometimes, whenever he returns from office a little early, he used to bring some snacks for the children in the family. And he used to hand over the snacks packet to my mom. The snacks were typically pakoras, samosas, etc. But the quantity was so small to feed all the children in the family. And I remember my mom used to call me to one corner of the house where nobody could see us. And secretly, she used to hand over the entire packet to me. And I happily used to eat everything without sharing anything with my cousins. And my mom was deliberately doing that out of her love for her only son. I vividly remember those days, those incidents. And today, when I reflect on my childhood, I think those incidents planted the seed of selfishness in my mind. As my mother continued to give me snacks secretly, and as I continued to eat them all by myself without sharing them with anyone else, the seed of selfishness, which was already planted in my mind by my mother, started growing bigger and bigger. And that has become part of my character, my personality. Today, in spite of knowing that I am doing something wrong, I still cannot get rid of that selfishness. My parents sacrificed everything to raise their only son, but he does not take care of them. My dear friends, this is such a painful story. But this story reflects the reality of our human society today. And this also reminds us about the value of education at home, the education that is imparted by the parents themselves, consciously or unconsciously, through their actions and behavior. Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra emphasizes the importance of education at home. He believes that every home should be transformed into an educative institution. He believes parents can impart and inculcate love, service, and admiration in their children. Parents can inculcate elements of positive character in their children. Without that, education is incomplete.